Hello, welcome to all my new friends. I've been absolutely flabbergasted by all the new subscribers, and you're very welcome. I hope you enjoy this channel, and obviously massive thanks to Charlie Ward and to Lee Hemmington, who set the interview up on the Charlie Ward show. Such a pleasant experience to speak to that man. He's a real character. So thanks guys. Here I'm just doing a bit of a walk in the woods, which I recommend everybody does at least a couple of times a week. I think that the Japanese call this forest bathing because the energy of the trees harmonizes your energy field, because they really are our friends, and I'm not embarrassed to say that I am a tree hugger. My kids might be embarrassed by me saying that, but I think they're used to that by now. So this is just a short video, firstly to say thanks. Just overwhelming response to my video with Charles, and all the lovely comments on the other videos as well. So, you know, I'm really humbled by that, and I'm not just saying that. So thank you. Now, the reason for today's video is because a good friend of mine just sent me a link to a Kerry Cassidy interview with Dean Henderson. I'm going to put the link in the description below this video. What was really interesting about it is that Dean talks about the internet as a weapon. He talks about the fact that it was created by DARPA. Most of you should know by now that the CIA is, DARPA is like the military arm of the CIA. And they're responsible for lots and lots of very evil shit, including Facebook, I think Google as well, and most of the social media and Twitter. The CEO of Twitter is an extremely nasty person. I'm not a big fan at all. But it brought up the question for me about whether the internet is a weapon. And I think it is, and I want to talk about the solution to that. Some of you may or may not know that I've been involved with the internet for a long time. I even wrote a book about it because I've been working on it since 1996. And I love many things about the internet. You know, it's for me, it's always been a kind of democratic place for small businesses and people to get their message across. But it's also a very powerful weapon and tool used by the bad guys to do mind control. And if you've seen that film that just came out a few days ago, Shadowgate, you probably have to go to BitChute to find it. YouTube took it down pretty quickly. You know, I've got no real opinion on the person that made it. You know, I've read a few things, people saying she's a, you know, she's an agent or whatever. That always happens when things like this get made. But that film has got some very interesting things in it, and it's got whistleblowers from the likes of Google saying, sorry, not from the Google, from the NSA, saying that they use algorithms to, you know, measure your behavior, and then algorithms to then spit out the kind of fake profiles and content in order to create a reaction and a behavioral reaction from people, which means that basically you, me, everybody is under mind control. So back in the day, you know, I started lecturing on internet marketing about 12 years ago now, and that was what was that, 2008 I think, and Facebook was fairly new then. And I do remember, I am consistent in, for those of you that know me from those days, I am consistent in this. I used to describe the internet as like a, as a wilderness, you know, full of gambling deers and rabbits and streams and birds, and it was a place where people would share ideas freely. It was a beautiful place. It was also kind of crazy place, you know. The possibilities were endless. This is why I got so involved in it back in the 90s, because I could just see so many good things coming from it. But of course, whenever there's a tool, there's bad things. So I described Facebook back then It's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen the film Logan's Run or read the book, but there was a city in Logan's Run which was like a big dome, and people were born within the city. On the outside it was like this, beautiful forest and nature, but they'd never been outside. They got born into the city and they all had to die at the age of 32, I think it was. And that's the way I saw Facebook. Facebook was like this blue monolithic city that just grew out of the ground, and people were born within the walls of the city. And that's their experience of the internet. I know that some of my relatives never went on the internet until Facebook was created. And the reason for going on there was to keep in touch with their kids, you know. Then of course they end up spending 100 hours a week playing stupid games about farm animals. So, you know, has the internet dumbed people down? I think most conclusively, yes, it has. And in fact, there's a really, really good book you should all go and have a look at, called The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America. I can't remember the name of the woman that wrote it, and I think it's free to download. If you Google it, you can find it. And I believe the woman that wrote it was in Reagan's administration in the education field. It's a very, very powerful book. And if you are interested in that subject, also go and look up Ken Robinson's talk on YouTube called Do Schools Kill Creativity? Because they most certainly do. So if you watch the Dean Henderson interview, and I hope you do, there's some great stuff in there. Kerry Cassidy I've actually been watching for at least 10 years. Well worth having a look at and digging into, because, you know, as a father of 5, the biggest problem, and I'm sure all of you will agree with this, the biggest problem with kids now is that they're addicted to these things. This thing that what I am talking to you on right now. And it's extremely difficult to get them off it, because they are deliberately addictive. Social media is addictive, which is why I'm here in the forest, because I spend a lot of time online, but I have to, you go crazy, you go a little bit crazy, and you lose touch of yourself, and you don't ground yourself. That's another thing you should do, is walk barefoot. So I should practice what I preach there. There's my feet, complete with dodgy suntan. So what's the answer? Well, the answer is, and I think Dean touches on this, don't spend all day online. Don't spend all day in front of a screen. Turn off the TV. Definitely turn off the TV. The TV is mind control 101. But the internet is also doing shit to you that you want to be unplugging from. Just unplug. I think one of the solutions, a lot of what I want to talk about on this channel is what is the solution to this attack on humanity. And part of the solution is to reconnect with nature. It's so simple, it's ridiculous. You know, take your shoes off, go for a walk on the grass in the morning. That allows the pent-up electricity in your body to flood out and to help relax you and, you know, put you in a good mood for the rest of the day. But also get out into the countryside. If you've got any countryside near you, make the most of it. Get out there. Now I've got quite a few things in the works for this channel, including a song, including a poem, and maybe a comedy sketch or two. But I'm going to keep those under wraps for now until they're ready, because there's obviously a lot more production than just holding up a phone in a forest, however nice that may be. So again, thank you to all of you that subscribed and left nice comments, and I really am touched by that. So I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'll be in touch soon. Take care.